Hi, this is Nick. I put this PowerPoint together and taking a video of me running through it, providing some narration, um, just to highlight a few things on the syllabus. Syllabus can be maybe more of a formal document, and this, fall, this semester, every kind of semester has its own peculiarities, and so I want to just run through some of those, give you additional information there. So the course, Remote Sensing, the name makes reference to a process, really a process of data creation. So a way of observing, a way of knowing. And the course itself is process focused, but it's broader than just the data collection. So it's collection, it's analysis, and really it's integration into arguments. And so it complements well things that you've learned in other GIS classes, and really things that you will learn. So it's kind of it maybe is explicitly a process of data creation and kind of more commonly a call sign of the data that's created. So remote sensing, remotely sensed data. But it's a little bit broader than that. And this is kind of one of the broader themes of the course. Textbook we're using, Fundamentals of Satellite Remote Sensing and Environmental Approach. This is by Chuvieco. I signed the third edition, which is the 2020 publication. The last time I taught the course, I used this same title, but it was the second edition, which I believe is a 2016 publication. That second edition of this same title I say it's likely an okay alternative here. It might work for you. Why I say might is because it might require a bit more of your time to identify different page numbers in the assignment. Make sure that you're getting everything that would be there in the third edition in terms of basic concepts. And I think there the difference, the gap is going to be less. It's 4 years. A lot of the basic introductory topics are not going to change. There's certainly new developments, a lot of new developments. But for the real cutting edge things, we're going to have to actually look at other resources too. And these other resources I'll post to Blackboard, or in fact might direct you to them online in some of the assignments so that you can get familiar with somewhat more technical documentation for products, how to read those PDFs that seem like they have a lot of jargon and figure out what you need to know from them. In the meantime, the first chapter of Fundamentals is available for you to read as a sample on that book's Amazon page. So another reason maybe to get the second edition is cost or availability. I don't know exactly what the delay in the third edition would be. It might be just, they might have it, there might not be a delay. But if there is, you can consider other options. In terms of other non-text resources, the AUM has a virtual machines called a VLab application. The URL is right here. It's really going to be vital. Here, I didn't update my slide. It's going to be vital for the course. Whether we're working in ArcGIS or in Envy, which is a specialty remote sensing application, you're going to want to use the VLab. It's not something that you can install locally, just given licenses, computing power. So the VLab at AUM recently underwent an overhaul. It had been running a bit slowly and at times would crash. And those, to my knowledge, are no longer problems. They've also updated and standardized the version of the different software applications. So that should make things go a lot more smoothly. Also, a resource for you to use is a physical, kind of real-life computer lab, non-virtual lab at AUM, and that's found in the Liberal Arts Building, kind of next to Goodwin. Room number is 310 TW, so third floor in the tech wing. I think that is the east side of the building. So Jeffrey, our student worker, will be opening that lab for use and just general office hours between 5:30 and 8:30, Monday, Wednesday, 5:30 to 9:30 on Fridays. And that's going to be his typical schedule. There might be certain weeks where a change is going to be foreseen, and I'll announce those on the course Blackboard. I'm also going to hold some of my office hours there in the 310 lab. The times for that are TBD. Really, I want to get a sense of what would be most useful for you. In the course, there are 3 components of your grade. Most of that, 60%, will be derived from semi-weekly lab exercises. So I'll post the first one soon so that you can take a look, if not get started on it, alongside the more conceptual or background readings. So each one of those, if we figure there's about 10, would be, say, 6% of your grade. 25% of your grade will come from 2 tests, so one midterm test, one at the end of the semester. These will be open book, kind of take home, and not just take home, of course, take home, but take home over a few days, a longer period of time, not a 1 hour to finish everything type deal. The question format, at least for the midterm, which I kind of have a better idea of exactly what I want to do, will be short, long answer. So you'll be provided maybe with images and asked to interpret something about it. You might have to do a bit of open book research, textbook or internet resources, but then the writing would be your own. And then finally, 15% of your grade will be a final project. So think of this as a souped up lab, a double lab. So it's expected the work to be a little bit more substantial in terms of depth, also in terms of independent input from you. So a lot of the labs are packaged. Some of them I collect data and I'll put those together. Other times the software manufacturers do that. For your final project, you may or may not have a data collection component, but in terms of setting up an objective, figuring out phenomena of interest, matching suitable or potentially suitable data products to that, and drawing conclusions, a lot of that is going to be on you. And it's a double lab in terms of substance, but that's in quotes because we will work on these projects for more than just 2 weeks. We're going to get into those about the midpoint of the semester. Late submission of assignments, so things happen. So typical markdown would be 10% per day late. One assignment during the semester, if you're late on only one, don't worry about it. If you're late on 2, don't worry about one of those. Things happen. There's no reason to provide an excuse or anything. Just for one assignment per person, no penalty as long as it's within 10 days. If it's longer than that, that gets to the point where it could interfere with your ability to pick up and learn other subsequent topics on the course. So it's kind of a bigger problem. But if you do have an ongoing problem that's going to maybe hold up more than one assignment, reach out to me early on so we can figure out if it's possible to come up with a work plan and not get derailed there. And finally, a bit about me, Nick Cuba. I'm a geographer, human environment geographer. Kind of what does that mean? I look at topics of migration, around resource extraction or agriculture, a lot of times in tropical areas, Latin America. And in doing that work, use a lot of GIS and remotely sensed data. This is my second year, starting my second year at AUM. Have some of you in other courses, but if not, if it's new, I teach courses like spatial statistics, Python programming, and this semester a special topics application course, GIS and environmental hazards. I live in Montgomery with my family. I have a daughter and expecting to have a son in just a few weeks in September. So we all know things come up. Looking forward to that. It'd be great. So I want to check in with each of you, get to know you a little bit, figure out what goals you have for the course, any interests you have, any concerns or special circumstances. I used to do a kind of questionnaire to get to know students, but that's good for some things. It's not good for others. So please email me 3 or a few daytime options that could work well for you. And if you're not in the central U.S. time zone, please let me know, where you are, or adjust if you could. Things might come up even if you are in central U.S. time zone, if you're working. Nights and weekends are fine, so we'll figure out a good time. My email there, ncuba@aum.edu. I'm going to wait until a fair number of responses come in to see if anybody does have really limited availability, if there are any conflicts. So expect a response from me within a couple days, I guess. And I'll send confirmation for time and a link to Zoom.